Friends of Joseph Foundation, a non-governmental organization founded on the 3rd day of July 2019 by the spiritual children and friends of the Chairman Board of Trustees, Pastor J.A. Adeyokunu, purposely for the following objectives: to support the less privileged in the society through provision of food, clothing, and soft medicals. Friends of Joseph Foundation also made advocacy visits to some homes across the affected states in the country, namely IDP Camp Makodi, Benue State, Ghetto Big Boys, Mushin, Lagos, RCCG Restoration Center, Port Harcourt, Habitation of Hope, Loburu, Ogun State, LP's Precious People's Conference, Tower of Refuge Motherless Home, Surulere, Lagos State, amongst others. To offer pro bono advocacy and referral services to indigent inmates of correctional centers, to minister salvation to inmates, empowers youth through acquisition of soft skills, restore hope to the hopeless through prayers and counseling. In furtherance of the Foundation's aims and objectives, between October and December 2019, volunteer lawyers visited Olokuta Correctional Center in Akure, as well as Ondo and Ekiti States Correctional Centers. To the glory of God, the visits recorded successes in the centers, which attracted commendations from the state's houses of assembly, the judiciary, Ministry of Justice, and the state's media. Most of the released inmates were referred to the Redeemed Christian Church of God parishes nearest to them for profiling and follow-ups. It is worthy of note that FOJF's gallant volunteer lawyers worked all through the period of COVID-19 outbreak in defiance of the pandemic. During the COVID-19 periods, many projects were actualized in the following centers: Ado-Ekiti, Ekiti, Ilesha, Osun State, Agodi Center in Oyo State, and between January and June 2022, 5 centers in Ogun State were visited and completed, namely Ibara, Ilaro, Oba, and Shagamu. Friends of Joseph Foundation's achievements so far: introduction of sanity, equity, and justice to administration justice system in all the affected states, with commendation from the states. FOJOF was in Ogun State twice, based on appeal by the Chief Judge, Honorable Justice Mosumola Dikpeolu, and based on the Foundation's track records. It has been accorded the status of partners and stakeholders in jail delivery exercise in all the affected states. Parts of the achievements are the cases of 2 inmates whose release and successful rehabilitation were facilitated by FOJOF. The 2 inmates, Mr. Deni Oladimeji, now making impact through bakery business at Ilesha, Osun State, and Mr. Tunde Oladele Obete is now helping to feed his community in Ondo State through his farming business. Since its establishment till date, Friends of Joseph Foundation has been impacting the life of the less privileged by providing for their material and spiritual needs, as well as complementing government's efforts at decongesting many of the correctional centers across the country. All this to the glory of God.